Happy Friday, everyone. Andrew has an awesome quiz for us this week. I'm going to hand over to him. It's easy week for me, right? I've done all the work this week.
I'll just ask all the questions, not having a clue what the questions are because I was trying to get some stuff finished and I haven't managed to do it. So thank you, Eddie, for writing questions. Hope you don't mind me sitting there coding, trying to get more things written.
Don't thank me yet. You haven't seen the questions. I had a few that were contributed from the community. So, yes, we've had a whole round from the community. So, thank you very much, Lee, for that. But also a couple of other contributions to the other rounds. So, if any of those questions are terrible, I'm just going to blame it on other people, even if they are my questions. But, Andrew, thank you very much for doing so much coding this week. It has, you have done a lot. I've seen the PRs come through, and they've been some big ones. And you've been busy.
Well, testing was the main thing. We now have testing. You can show people if you want for 2 minutes whilst people might start joining.
Yeah, let's go to GitHub and see.
Yeah, if you go to GitHub, you can see it on GitHub Actions.
Let me just pull this out. Here we go. Minimize that. Get rid of some of this rubbish behind. Go GitHub.
So yeah, that was, I don't know how many days of effort. It was far too much effort, but I learned a heck of a lot about Firebase in the process. Certainly the emulator as well. Yeah, the top one.
Build, test, and deploy.
Depending on branch.
7 minutes? This is not a .NET application, you know.
That was 7 minutes ago, isn't it? It's just deploy, probably.
Really? Let me see. No, in 7 minutes, 16 seconds. Okay. Sorry, .NET people, I love you really. I'm joking. I should have said, this is not a Java application. That would have been like 7 hours.
It's because there's Java behind it.
It's got Java there. So it's partly a Java application, even if that's just for running the tests.
But if you look at something like 20 seconds, I'm not sure where all the time was. Looking at that list, the amount of time taken, nothing's taken multiple minutes. It must have been queuing for 6 minutes and running for.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. They add up really small, so it must have been.
The deploy. How long is the deploy? Have a quick look in the deploy. I've not been looking at the time.
4 hours.
There you go. It's the deploy of the build.
Build UI. Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a big job.
That is. I didn't think that'd be so big.
Well, obviously, locally, you've already got a lot of the dependencies built. It just refreshes parts of them.
True.
Because there's no cache on the server, it's having to do a fresh build from scratch, which is a bit longer.
That's true. So how is everyone doing today? I'm looking at both chats. Most of our stuff is I see Tom's comment. Lee's comment. Lee says he dreams of a 7-minute build. And Tom says most of our stuff is about 5 minutes from check-in to deploy. Nice.
How long do the tests take to actually run when the tests themselves are running? So if you don't have to get all the cruft of downloading dependencies and such, it's that third from the bottom. Run the tests with the emulator is the one. 19 seconds.
Okay, yeah, okay, got you.
That's time to start up the emulator as well, I guess, in that.
If anyone's wondering why I'm saying there's 2 chats, there's one on the game, and then there is the YouTube one as well. So that's why
you shared the link.
I have shared the link. I need to make an option to disable this chat, I think, so we just have one. Just have the YouTube one, I suppose. But something we need to talk about because Andrew's not happy.
Everyone's talking on the game for like 20 minutes first.
But we want to get the engagement on YouTube because then it promotes us more. So it's kind of like it's a hard one.
Have both.
Or we write the YouTube API so that anything written here appears on the YouTube chat. Sounds like more work.
Yeah, but wouldn't everyone have to be on a Google account to do that properly? I don't know. Don't know if you can even do
that. Lee and Mike says they have shared the quiz tonight, but none of their friends have joined. They're obviously not, they don't want to support you. No, I'm joking. That's fine. Thank you very much for sharing. I blame Andrew. He probably scared them off.
They have other things to do in their life, that's why.
It's Andrew's beard. It probably scared them off. I, on the other hand, look very welcoming.
Yeah, just don't go to any airports anytime soon.
Actually, a friend of mine said, "Oh, Eddie, I like your new kind of haircut and your tan and your beard." I was like, "Oh, brilliant! What do you think? You look really scary." I was like, "Why would you pass a compliment and then add that it's actually a negative thing?" But we'll see how the airports go in the next few months. Thanks, Mike. They heard it round on open source and ran a mile. I've actually got some Python questions in here. I thought, forgetting TypeScript, Node, JavaScript. We had .NET last week, so I've actually put in some Python questions.
Nice.
So try to mix it up a little bit. I haven't been so strict. It's a bit all over the place. We'll see how it goes. We've only got 3 rounds tonight. Actually, if I hit start game, then people still join, Andrew? They can't they?
Yeah,
Just
they can still join. Yeah,
just to bring up the.
they just wait to see who's in the game anymore. That's all.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now you tell me. I've already clicked it.
Software engineering. Did you miss typo something there? Is that supposed to be software engineering?
Did I bust it? Software engineer. Yeah, it's going to be lots of typos. The language or the animal. Yeah, I missed out descriptions. I thought we were going to update these, and as always, we never got around to it. Lee's asking a very valid question. There are lots of improvements. I don't know if there's any that are visible just yet. So there's the automated testing, which is really impressive.
So the automated testing was a massive job this week because I really needed to get on top of testing because we've not done any. So that was probably about 4 or 5 days, mostly because I've never tried. I've never needed, I guess, to test stuff with Firebase. I've only ever used Firebase experimentally, just playing around with it. Eddie's done it in a bit more anger than me. But Eddie, likewise, has never actually tested any of his Firebase work, even though he's done far, far more than me.
I've done it using for prototypes.
You left the job to me to figure out how to test stuff with Firebase, which was a real pain.
But when I did the testing, like about 2 years ago, there was no emulator for the database. It was just a real ball ache. So I used Firebase.
How did the conversation start when I started my work on the testing? Don't use the emulator; it's crap. So I spent 2 days trying to get testing working without the emulator first, before someone on Twitter said, "Why are you using the emulator?"
And the emulator's improved a lot now, and Andrew decided to write his own emulator.
The emulator worked quite well. It was, it wasn't too bad. There were some missing bits of documentation that probably wasted about a day and a half trying to figure out. But aside from that, it was mostly just getting everything up and running. So yes, we've got tests now. But the tests are on the Firebase functions. So there were some bugs in the functions. They've been fixed. We've added the ability that when it does the calculation at the end of the round, it will now also, against your record, say which question in the round you got right or wrong or missed. And that is shown at the end of the round. So end of each round now, you will see which questions you got right or wrong, assuming the test and everything are actually correct. But anyway, that's a different question to how I haven't actually manually reviewed what happens. I've just trusted the tests are working. So you should see at the end of the round which ones you got right or wrong along with your score now. And I was, just before this, trying to get the end quiz to give you an overall total finished. But I need another hour, maybe 2, to get that done, unfortunately. So that's not in just yet. Eddie this week has done nothing in the way of coding. Have you, Eddie?
I haven't. And the only one bit of coding I did do was I copied and pasted something out of the example out of the Firebase docs, put it into my code. I was really happy. It wrote something to the database, and that was my work for a few days. So yes.
You have PRs for me, though.
Sorry?
You have been reviewing my PRs, and we have had quite a few conversations as I've tried to piece through a few things and walk things through with you. So
true. Well, next week, right? Always next week.
There's always next week. There's always tomorrow as well, or tonight.
It's true, and I do keep saying that Lee's agreeing with me. Lee's saying live share and we can all code together. I did say to Andrew we should live stream it, and he was like, he doesn't want anyone's help. He says that he wants to challenge to do it all himself. That's what he said.
All I can say is the half dozen times I've tried to do a coding stream where I'm coding and doing stuff, at the end of like a 2-hour stream, I'll have probably done 5 minutes of work. So I spent all my time either repeating things to new people that have come and are asking questions, or I get stuck on something and I'm too busy talking about the problem that I never actually solve it. So I just don't make any progress when I'm coding on streams. It's great, I think, if you want to just take people through stuff you've done, but when you're writing new stuff, unless you literally don't look at the chat, turn everything off, put your headphones on, and ignore the fact you're streaming, then I don't think you get anything done. In which case, that kind of defeats the object of what Lee's probably wanting.
Yeah, of course. It's not a collaboration then. Yeah, I agree.
So it's a difficult one. I think once you've got a few people, if they're with you all the time, it starts to work out. You start to build that group. But it depends if anyone really wants to get involved that deeply. If they really do, then I'll happily do it.
So tonight we do have 3 rounds. We're going to try and finish by 10. So that's in 50 minutes, 50. We have general knowledge, software engineering. That's actually I haven't got database open. Damn it. And a guest picked around by Lee. So thank you very much, Lee, for that. Shall we get started? Everyone ready? It's 10 past. Shall we do it?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Let's do it. Okay, general knowledge. These are all over the place. Well, so is software engineering, so it's going to be fun. Let's have a look. Andrew, which one do you want to read out? You pick one.
I don't know. I guess I've got to answer most of these because I haven't written any of them. I don't mind. I can read through the general knowledge if you like.
Up
I
to
think
you.
it depends how excited you are by your other round.
You can do the coding round. That's definitely.
He's reading out his round, isn't he?
Lee's reading out his. Yeah, we should have brought him into this as well.
Okay. All right. Let's crack on it. It's 10 past.
Okay.
We've got 3 rounds. We've got a little bit more time, I suppose, but I'm sure people would like us to finish about 9ish. So let's try and see how we can do.
Wow, Mike's dropped a gem in there. It's only proper collaborative coding if you're both sharing the same keyboard. So not even sharing the same IDE, the same keyboard. True, Mike.
We get a virtual keyboard that only lets one person.
Yeah. That's true. A plugin for VS Code.
Right. So first question. Let's get going, shall we? I don't know why I'm even bothering reading. Everyone probably already answered it by now. Which social media app only lets you view pictures and messages for a limited time? I only use 2 of those.
Yeah, but everyone knows which one it is.
I'm guessing it's probably not one of the ones I use, because I think both the ones I use are okay for that.
It's like a database or an ops person's dream, this app, because they don't have to keep any of the data. It's just like got into TTL or whatever, and done. Never grows too big.
Okay, I've given my answer.
I think recently they were valued at 9 billion as well.
That doesn't particularly help me. That could be any of them.
Okay, next. Everyone ready? Place your answers. What does oh, you're reading them out, sorry.
All right. What does a Geiger counter measure? Well, this one I can probably answer. A, temperature, B, humidity, C, radiation, or B, pressure.
When I glanced over those answers just now, I panicked for a split second. I thought I didn't put the actual answer in there.
Oh no. That would be fun when you've actually clicked the wrong correct answer. Yeah.
In the software engineering round, we do have a bonus question. And it's because there's a bug that doesn't update how many questions you've added. So I got to 10, didn't realize at 10, I thought I was at 9, and I added on 11. That's why you get a bonus.
Fair enough.
Okay, I think it's time to move to the next one. Let's go.
The Tinder likes or rejects are stored in a redis in RAM, so they lose things potentially. Oh, that's good. But then again, who cares? Who cares what likes you get on Tinder?
Andrew, how many likes do you get on Tinder?
Shh, my wife might be listening. So she's going to come running in now because she is.
Just clocks him over the head. Like,
wouldn't be the first time she's slumped over the head, not for that reason. Okay, right, anyway. Which prestigious university did Microsoft founder Bill Gates drop out of? Okay, it's got to be one of them. MIT, Harvard, Oxford, or Cambridge? I'll go with that one. 50-50.
Okay, I think that's well. We'll keep it short and quick. This is deadly. It's simple, right? You only got 4 answers to choose from. You just need to pick one. Click. Done.
You told me there's one later that's got we didn't have enough options. It limits you too much. You wanted more.
That was for Lee's round. He's got like 8 options a lot of the time. Yeah, it's good. Keeps it exciting, and you got to pick multiple ones as well. All right, let's move on.
Okay. What unit of length is equal to around 5.8 trillion miles? Okay. A buzz, a light year, really far, or a Google? Okay.
Just dead simple, keeping it easy to begin with. I know everyone said mine was difficult last week, so this week's a lot easier. I expect everybody to get like 9 out of 10 on every round.
You could have at least put a parsec in there or something.
Yeah, but I thought Buzz Lightyear. I thought it was quite funny. No, and that
Oh,
really.
there we go. Look, you just said it as well. I was sure parsec would be it. Yeah. Look at that timing. Great minds and all that.
What are you trying to say? That I'm not one of the great minds? I'm not. Definitely not. I was half asleep when I did this. I'm just happy there's a correct answer in there somewhere.
I hope there is a correct answer.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Moving on. Place your bet. Bit cloud computing now.
Sorry. What are hybrid?
What
are
is,
hybrid
sorry.
yeah, okay. What is hybrid cloud computing? Private, and public, cloud and bare metal. Hybrid cloud computing. I've never heard that phrase before.
Nor have I. I came across it and I was like, well, okay, it kind of makes sense. Thanks, Mike. Mike's got my back. He's challenging everybody. Nope, George Lucas got it wrong.
But that's the whole point, isn't it, Mike? It is a measure of time, but everyone always talks about it as a distance. So
The Millennium
It's how
Falcon did
far
it in like how many? Like 9 or 12? 12, wasn't it?
no, George Lucas got it wrong. It's a distance based on an angle or something. Is it? I don't know. We have to go and look up what a parsec is next.
That's the question for next week. Okay. Everyone place their bets.
Okay, I'll make a guess. It's got to be one of them. Which are not open source databases?
I hope I got this right. I kind of guessed a couple.
That's
So
an
this
interesting
is where Mike's going to correct me.
one. Michael will always correct you. Don't worry about that.
That's true. Oh, those .NET developers, I think they know everything. I don't know.
There's probably parts. I think there's parts of some of them, or parts of the ones I think it is that are open source. It just might not be in its entirety, but that could be said for others. So I think there's. I don't want to say it out loud, but I think there's others that have got parts that are closed source to them as well. So it's sort of a double-edged sword in that.
I'm laughing at Stephen's comment. CouchDB rocks, but I can't even pronounce it. Sucks. I spelt it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Well noticed. That's made
how
my
you-
day. That's
I'm
really
not
funny. I think Stephen deserves an extra point for that. That's really
Well
good.
spotted. Oh no.
I shouldn't be allowed to do questions.
You shouldn't, because you can generally deduce which ones the correct answers are, or just you have to put yourself into the brain of Eddie to figure it out, which nobody really wants to be doing. So yeah,
That's true. Yeah, I spelt it wrong. It is a typo. It's CouchDB.
but there is a thing. There is actually a CouchDB, isn't there, or something? It's similar.
Is
to that. I
there?
came across
No, I don't think so.
There was Couch or there was something similar. I'm sure I came across something with a very similar name. CrunchDB probably or something.
The brain already. Yeah, you don't want to go there. It's mostly asleep at the moment. Okay, 3. Let's move on. 3. PouchDB. Oh, okay.
That's a pouch, yeah.
No, my brain's
not-
open source. It's not a very active project. I think once I did 5 for this one. I meant to do 6.
Unit test versus integration test.
So what
Okay.
happens next?
The lock does not engage. The doors open wide. The doors slide open. The door does not open wide. The door does not slide open.
This makes me laugh.
Yeah,
every
this is
time I
what we
say it.
have to put ourselves into Eddie's head for, I think. unit test versus integration test. So what happens is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, but
So
this is a famous thing. I didn't invent this. This is quite famous. There were a few to choose from. There was like the handles. Like, have you seen the window handles where you got two windows and each of them have got handles.
Oh,
And if
yeah.
one works but you can't open it, hits the other one. The other one works. So unit test wise, they work individually, but integration wise together, it doesn't work. This is kind of similar.
Yeah, sure. So
I,
you've
I,
got a lock on it. It's a sliding door.
I gave you an insight into my genius copy and paste mind.
Slide open like the doors and stars in their eyes from the 2000.
Tonight, Matthew. Oh my god, I remember that now. When you first wrote "Store Slide Open" in 2000 old TV, I was like, okay. But then when you said that tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be, I was like, yes, I remember that now. Stephen, you're on fire tonight. I think that's an extra point for Stephen. Definitely, that's hilarious.
Could be Elon Musk. There you go. Lee's decided already. Didn't take long to make a decision.
In his brain.
That's what you need to be if you want to score well on this one.
Okay, this is question number 7. Everyone placed their bets, and we'll move on because the next round is going to be better. There's code. I think I can't remember. I did it like 2 hours ago, so I can't remember what's in it. I think there's a bit of code. Python, CSS. There's some stuff. Okay. Ready, set, go. Oh, I put the Python one in here. This is a bit stupid. I'm warming you up for the next next round. Who are the Python devs here?
Maximum value for an integer is 2 to the power of 63 minus 1. So is that 2 to the power of 62? There's supposed to be some brackets you missed out.
Did I miss did I miss a typo again? Pretty sure that's it. I don't think it's brackets. It's okay. It's good because the power takes precedent over the minus.
Yeah.
This should be okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Standard maths, right?
Yeah. It's like 50-50, right? It's true. Is it false? Is it false? Is it true? There's no like maybe. So it's an easy one. 50-50.
I'll wait until you click next, then I'll make my comment.
Okay, has everyone placed their Can it be negative? I don't know if it's signed or unsigned. It's Python. No, it doesn't matter. It's like JavaScript, right? It just works sometimes. Okay, I want to click next. All your choices are going to be saved.
It's Python 3 anyway. Who uses that?
Oh, so there's a clue in that Andrew just said. Which of the... I really thought I put these in the following round. I don't know what I've put in the following round. Okay, I might have messed this all up.
Not actually going to be any questions. It's going to be general knowledge questions.
At least we've got Lee's round in the third round, which is going to, save the day, so it's all good. He has pictures and stuff. So, which of the following is... Oh, sorry, you're reading these out, Andrew, not me.
I don't mind. We don't really need to be reading them anyway. I think everyone's able to read themselves. But go on. Which of the following is not a Python built-in function? Map, round, diff, is instance, and REPR.
REPR. Repel.
Or is it supposed to be an L rather than an R?
No, I'm joking. That's not a typo. I copied and pasted that. Unless I copied and pasted incorrectly. Yeah, I wonder if anyone here uses Python. That's why it's good that I chose Python. I went to a workshop once, a coding workshop, and they wanted us to not focus on the coding, but focus on the architectural patterns and design patterns and so forth. And they were like, here who uses Java, and people put their hands up. Here who uses PHP, people put their hands up. Here who uses JavaScript, people put their hands up, and all the rest. And then he said, okay, who here uses Groovy? No one put their hands up. It's like, right, okay, the workshop's going to be in Groovy. It's like, right.
It means that whoever's running it doesn't have to worry about it being called out on something.
Yeah, yeah, true. Okay, let's move on to the last question. Click something, have a guess. You've got 20% chance.
Could have been another coding question because Eddie's put coding questions into general knowledge.
I think so. It is.
It's one of those, everybody knows this stuff, so it's general knowledge.
Exactly. Just warming up
Didn't
to
you
the
grow
coding
up in
one.
Python? If you didn't, cool. Great. So in Python, given this variable, you do realize we support Markdown. You could have put Markdown into this.
Yeah, that's true. And I have done in the next round, and I'm really worried that the line breaks might not have come out correctly because I had to edit it in the database. So it might be a bit dodgy in the next round.
Might cause some problems because the database doesn't give you a text edit, really.
No, it doesn't. It's going to be interesting. It'll be fun. It's part of the fun.
So feature for you to work on next week is editing questions, right?
Yeah, editing questions would be good, actually.
In Python, given this variable x equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, what will print x?
I have no idea what colon minus is. That's some voodoo Python stuff.
I have no idea.
Place a guess. It's the last one in the round, so I made it a bit harder. Have a guess. A, B, C, D, or E.
Is Python case sensitive? Is there a hint there?
I'm not saying anything. Andrew, stop talking. Giving it all away.
Okay. All right, I'll go with that.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
In the round, let's have a look.
Calculating.
We need some sound effects, yeah.
Let's go. Oh, there we go.
Andrew, you got 10 out of 10. You cheat. You looked in the database. No way. Tom,
I guessed
nice.
I knew most of them, but I guessed probably 3 of them.
Me and Dave didn't do so well. We're at the bottom.
Nice. What do you reckon to the new leaderboard, though?
I really like the leaderboard. That is the first time I actually see. I know I've seen the screenshot in the pull request. But
I've only seen it when there's like 2 questions on one person, so I had no idea what was going to happen here. So I'm glad it might be completely wrong. Maybe I didn't get 10. Maybe I'll just put some code in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. I'm quite happy with that. That looks all right.
That is very good. I think people did quite well. There's a bit of a spread, which is quite good. So, didn't want everyone bunched up in one area, so that's good. Oh, and don't forget, Stephen got the bonus ball of 2, so he's definitely on 8. So with those comments. I
want to check this on a phone quickly, but carry on. Keep talking.
Okay, go on. Shall I not click next round while you check on the phone?
Yeah, so I'm just going into responsive mode quickly. But yeah, Mike's right. It's actually on a phone. There's a few bugs there, so I need to fix that. But most of it will be fixed by adding a flex wrap to it. But okay.
And we have Jesus here as well. He came in here quietly, snuck in. Good to have you here. I wouldn't have done very well in this round. I probably would have got like 2 if I was lucky.
It was the last few that started to get interesting. Yeah. The last 4, I think. I made probably 3 guesses. Educated guesses, though, based on what I know Eddie does.
So, ready for the next round, the coding round? But there is more. There is easier coding questions, I think, in the next round. I can't remember, really. Everyone's liking the leaderboard, Andrew.
Good,
Even if you all play the same lotto numbers. I'm slightly ahead of Dave, who isn't playing. You beat me. You beat me by a lot, like an infinite amount, right? Not 4 times. I didn't even get 1. Can I click these and just see if I can?
Is it Lee's round next? Oh, you put all the questions in for Lee, though, so you probably know the answers, don't you? Okay, never mind.
No, Lee's round afterwards. It's the last round. I tried not to look at it. I just tried to copy and paste stuff over. So okay. I don't think.
So you ask these questions, and I'll ask the last ones for Lee's round.
Okay.
Because I'll play along. Because otherwise, you've done all the questions this evening. Whilst I was busy trying to make the leaderboard look pretty, and I failed at getting an end screen done.
The leaderboard looks good. It was really nice. I liked it. It was good to see which one was which as well.
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy about that. It came together all right in the end.
So what is the data type for false? Stephen, does the quotes matter? Everyone's spoiling the questions. I
I was
should have
going to
done
say
it
the
in
same.
Markdown with a code block, therefore,
Yeah,
or like of an inline code. Therefore, it would have been less discussion, I suppose. Damn
yeah.
it. Okay, everyone place your bets. Let's move on. That was an easy one. We're starting off easy.
Okay, we'll go. It's probably not, isn't it? You probably did that without even thinking about it, but
Did what?
go on, put the quotes around it.
No, but then it wouldn't be a string, then would it?
So it
Okay,
is a string.
well, maybe not. No, it is. Everyone has to get one answer now.
Disappointed when everyone gets that one wrong because Eddie was tricky on it. It's actually a boolean. But the next question talks about booleans.
No, it was quoted in the string. It was a bit of a trick question. It's a bit mean, but I thought stuff easy but mean. The best thing about a boolean is even if you're wrong, you are only off by a byte, bit, object, or character.
Oh, okay, it's gonna be one of these rounds again.
Look, no one likes my rounds. I thought if I make it worse, then you won't ask me to do the rounds again.
Your rounds are nice and entertaining. It's good. It's what people need on a Friday evening. To be fair, it's a nice entertaining game, rather than the serious questions I put in that people can only get 2 out of 10 or something from. Mile, yes, yeah.
It took me a second to get that mic. That's good. Okay, next one. Before software can be reusable, it first has to be usable, tested, abstracted, or broken. For a sec. This is definitely going to be one of those rounds. I think we should end the stream here. This has all gone pear-shaped. This is a serious coding round. Look, can you not read it in the title? Software engineer. There's no engineering or engineer joker. This is serious.
I was doing computer science with my son earlier today because he had computer science homework, and we were talking, I think, about what the answer to this question is, but it was in a slightly different context. But yeah, we spent about an hour talking about this subject and trying to explain what it means.
I think I
That's
stole
assuming
this.
I'm right.
I think I stole this question from what do you call it? Like a school test or something.
I was going to say year 8 computer science.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. That's too easy. Year 8 computer science. We're well further than that. Is it like a soundbite quote or is it serious? Good question, Lee. It was a quote. These are quotes. Well, they were quotes. I thought it was a multiple answer.
We've asked this question before. I've seen this question before. We're back to general knowledge now.
Yeah, I got them in the wrong order. I was trying to multitask, and I'm not very good at multi-threading. Okay, how many programmers take to screw in a light bulb?
Software stuff.
Have we had this one before? I didn't realise.
We have had this one before.
Okay, well, everyone can answer it really quickly, and we can move on.
We can give the punchline in a moment. Well, some people here that probably weren't there for that quiz because that was like quiz 2 or 3 or something.
It's good to reuse it. See who was paying attention.
True. I'm just trying to now read it again to make sure you haven't worded it slightly differently, so it's a different answer.
Oh, my cheeks hurt. I bet this is a bold colon. Is that a colon semicolon? I can't read it so small. Oh no, it is colon -1 or some shit like that.
I think when we asked it before, the question was how many software engineers does it take to screw in a light bulb? So.
Yeah, that makes it a bit easier. I've just given it all away. I don't know.
You go to the next question then.
Let's go to the next one.
Because it's a hardware problem.
Yeah. A software lifecycle model which builds a throwaway version. I stole this one as well. I didn't invent this. Apparently this is a question in management development speak.
Is it?
Domain model, linear model, prototyping model, all of the above.
I assume it's going to be that based on the wording, but I've never heard someone ask that or say that before.
Nor have I, but I was struggling. I was like, shit, it's like an hour before the quiz. I've still got another round to do, so I kind of panicked. But I think it gets a bit... Just, you don't ask Eddie to do anything. He's not, reliable. Just takes the piss, messes around all the time. All my software is throwaway version. That's so mine. It's all the prototype. It's fine.
Restart, isn't it? It's just, every 6 months you have to restart.
It's true.
So it's the restart model.
The restart model. Okay, question number 6. The translate function, this is in CSS by the way, the translate function can move the position of an element on the z-axis.
Z-axis.
Really, of them, if done wrongly, or all of them maybe, I think Jesus was saying. This is easy. True or false? True or false? 50-50. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Easy peasy. Oh no! What happened here? Oh dear, I've messed this one up. What a mess! That was a code block. That was done in the editor, and then this part was done in the database because I forgot to include the actual CSS. So, what is the color of the text sausage? We're all coders. This looks normal to us. It's fine. I'll give you a bit of time to read it. Putting a CSS question in an engineering round. Oh, Mike. Yeah, I've seen that before. That's like kind of saying, like one of the questions I came across was, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it basically implied these are all front-end frameworks, and there was like only Angular was one of the front-end frameworks. The rest were libraries, and I was just like, it's not kind of valid. But then if you get into the whole Angular, React, Vue, that's kind of the whole CSS engineering. Yeah, this should have gone in the general knowledge round probably, and the Python one should have come in here. You can see it's white. That's a bonus point. I love that. That's really good, Jesus. I love that. That has also made my day.
I do.
I should have put a white in one of the answers because then that would have thrown people. Right, okay, everyone's had long enough. There's only like a couple of lines of code. Come on, you're all software engineers, right? So
yeah, but we don't read code like this.
Do you not? I do. That's probably why I don't get anything done. It never works.
One line of CSS. That's your one line, is it?
I thought I must have missed the closing block. That's why that didn't appear as a code block. But that should have been the next line. They definitely put it onto the next line. CSS isn't code. I'm not even gonna get into that conversation. It's yeah. Hey, no one liked the Python questions. You don't like the CSS questions. What sort of questions do you want? I don't know. Tom, my CSS approach with a default bootstrap has. I'm the same with material. Okay, let's move on. This is too easy. This is when management print out the HTML they've committed once in the repos. They lied in the technical interview. They knew CSS. Mike, okay, someone's welcome to the .NET round next week. Lee, I hope so, Lee. I hope you get as much stick as I do, or at least half as much. Okay, moving on. Have a guess. Go for option E, safe bet.
All I've seen of that picture round was the pictures you sent, because you sent them over to me as PNG. I had to resize the whole lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even looked at them.
This is this is formatted correctly. At least Lee can spell. But the not spelling, the Eddie spelling makes it more exciting. It kind of, that keeps you guessing, and that was my goal. It's my superpower. What will happen to the position of example? Move down 5 pixels, move up 5 pixels. Items below will move up 5 pixels. Items below will move down 5 pixels. This looks like .NET code.
No, you haven't written it as SCSS, so no one recognises it.
Thinks furiously about spelling. I spelled my name right. Look, up here. There you go, see? My name's right.
That's a good start. I don't think you had to write your name, though.
I didn't. It came through Facebook.
Somewhere you had to write it. So.
Yeah.
All those years ago.
Yeah, true. All those years ago, and someone's checked it a few times. Okay, we're going to move on. It's deadly simple. Penultimate question. What is the use of the Oni selector? Apply the style for the screen only and ignore the device max width. Nothing. Full screen height. Stops older browsers from passing the remainder of the selector. And by older browsers, we all mean Internet Shit Explorer, where you can't explore anything. It just crashes, takes all your memory, gives away your PIN number, your credit cards to everyone in the world, and kills us with CSS specific style sheets. That wasn't targeted at anyone. Mike. It's all your fault. Just IE6 is your fault, Mike. Okay. Oh, we've got 2 more questions, not the penultimate one, because I had a bonus question, which I think is probably a really worst question, really bad question.
Should we delete that one?
No, you can't. You can never delete a question. It's like the Git history. You can't delete it. You just leave it there unless it's something.
Unless it's like
Key.
2 million megabytes. People have put all their DLL files and the rest in.
I didn't say that. That was all that guy over there. Not Bit down here. I'm gonna kind of go over Bit and down to Andrew. Right, let's move on. Without IE, people wouldn't be able to download other browsers. Yeah, that's actually very true.
Very good point.
Well, yeah, you could. You just use a real computer like a Mac or Linux. Fine.
Is that when you say New Edge? Are you talking about the one that's now using WebKit and isn't losing its Microsoft? Apart from they're still trying to break it, from what I've heard, they're adding more things on top of it. So
This should be renamed as like Microsoft. No, not Microsoft, because Microsoft are pretty cool. Mike and IE bashing stream.
has anyone used the new Firefox? That isn't really that new because it's been out for like 18 months or so now. I think that's the same with the Microsoft Edges now. I thought they'd moved to WebKit like start of last year, quite a while ago, I thought. Oh gosh, what does the above statement validate to in JS? Oh,
So this is an easy one for you all. All you need to do is like right click, open the console, type it in. That's the beauty of JavaScript. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. If that's cheating, you're fired.
There's a slight issue there because you put a semicolon on, but there's no like console log or something, so it's not really going to do anything.
No, okay, it's not a trick question in that sense. By the way, we're all thinking about calculating that in your head. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It really supports the channel.
Don't forget, tell all your friends to join the quiz because they will ignore you.
Yeah. Unless you're Mike and, you have no one on Facebook apart from Andrew and me where we're already here, so it doesn't count. Mike, we came for you! It should be a compiler error, true. This is JavaScript. It will never give you a compile error. It will just work. Kind of work. Error. It will just work. As in, it will do something. It might not be what you expect or what you want. I invited 4 people on LinkedIn who are waffling about open source.
If you said TypeScript rather than JavaScript, then you get a compiler error.
Okay, let's move on. Too easy. And what does the above statement? What have I written the above one? No, the below. Okay. I think it's because I had it below other way around before. I didn't change the wording. It's slightly different.
Would be.
That's why I've got it in there.
JavaScript processes things. It would process things this way.
Yeah, LinkedIn, open source. You go to GitHub. Social.
I quite like that question. That's the sort of question that people would get tripped up on, I think.
Which one?
This last one. I think that's one that people would get tripped up on if you didn't say anything to them, I guess. Just showed them it.
Okay, let's end it. Let's have a look at people's answers. Come on, let's do it. Are you all ready? Give me a woo-woo if you're ready. I can't hear you. Can you...
My mic broke for a moment. I did say it, but...
I can't hear anyone else saying it.
Listening out the window, you need to stick your head out the window. Everyone's shouting.
Jesus, thank you. Extra point for Jesus. Okay,
Oh,
let's.
Lee
You didn't say it.
mentioned
Your
that.
mic broke. You said.
No, not me. I said Lee.
Oh, did Lee say it as well? Oh, sorry, Lee. I missed that. Extra point for Lee as well. So I thought you said me. I was like, you didn't say it. Me and Dave
Oh,
got 0 again.
there's
Mike
4 of us.
won. Nice. We're gonna be nice to Mike now. He got like
Yeah, but
9
there's
out of
4 of us.
11.
There's a slight issue. And this is what I was saying to you earlier.
Oh
Should we
yes.
be dropping the you're in first, second, third, and just show your score in the circle at the start? Don't know.
Maybe yeah. You're right because then it would be
Well, you were going to do a
9-9.
fix that just says they're all number 1 as well. I thought.
Yeah, that's true. I need to make a note and I won't forget them. But that's really good. So
That's
everyone
good
did really
scoring.
well.
8s and 9s is good scoring.
Yeah, that was too easy for everybody. Whew.
Me and Mike didn't know number 6, whatever 6 was. We were the only ones that didn't know. Everyone else got them right. What
But
was
also,
6?
if you look at number 11, Mike and Tom got 11 wrong.
You'd probably never have to write JavaScript.
But also because they got number 10 right, that's why I think they got 11 wrong because it kind of flips
Okay,
from what you expect.
it does change, yeah.
I came first, the computer says no. Okay, next round. Andrew's going to read out Lee's question. So don't bring it here if you don't like it. Blame Lee. He's on the chat. And shout out Andrew for reading it out. Let's go. And I'm going to take part as well.
Right, so I don't have to describe the pictures.
Yes, and
What
a
are you giving
very
them there?
strapping man with a beard. Not like that, Andrew.
I need to get one of those overcoats, obviously. I'm probably more like the bottom left one generally, though.
That is so true when your hair gets long. Oh my God, you do. We'll call you Jack.
That's probably me normally. Oh, dear. But anyway, so what's the question? So the question is in the picture. Question 1, the leading men. Easy one to start off. Which leading man is the odd one out?
Andrew.
Okay.
No? Okay.
I assume that it's due to the theme I think it's due to.
Yeah, on the picture round, I couldn't put text, so I couldn't put the text above the picture. So I can. We should probably put the picture one down. We should change the picture one. Actually, Andrew, we should change the picture one so it's not a picture round. It's a normal round. It's just markdown.
No, because that causes all sorts of formatting issues for images. I want to disable images on there really and actually just offer you 2 fields. One will be put the picture in and one's any text you want to go with it.
Right. Okay. Okay, Andrew. If you're ready to hit next in a second, let me select mine. Then we'll hit next, and no one can change their answers.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready to hit next. So 3, 2,
Okay.
1.
I did it.
Okay.
I love these
Right.
movies.
Question 2, the Scene Stealer. Absolute classic movies. Which one's the odd one out? Oh, it's one of those tricky ones to try and figure out what the theme is. Which one's the odd one out?
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is amazing. Die Hard 1.
Due to the years? Something to do with the years? I'm trying to think what years some of those were done. I recognise them all. Was it Galaxy Quest, wasn't it, at the bottom right?
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that one though. Actually, Fantastic Beasts, I started watching it, but I didn't think it was very good.
Oh, it's not written on this. I don't know. I'm there looking at the picture, I'm not even looking at the options. So yeah, Galaxy Quest. It's written there as well if I read it. Okay, I'm going to... relate to the reason.
Okay, I'll play and then I'll click next.
Okay,
Let's go.
we can get that one wrong together. Question 3, Tron. Tron fights the users to liberate the programs captured by the MCU. He gets his name from a keyword in BASIC. Which of these is not a basic keyword? Okay.
I think that's a really good question. I really like the way it's written.
For a long time. Is it
That's
just one
definitely
answer?
one.
Is it just one or more? Do you know?
I guess it's one. I cannot remember. This is why I'm so good at putting these in because I actually cannot remember. I want to have a guess. I recognize a couple. A couple I'm not sure. I don't know. Lee says just one answer.
Okay. I recognise a few of them, but there's a few I don't.
Okay, let's
Okay.
play and I'll move on. You ready?
Go on, I've played. Good. We've chose the same answer at least. I'm going to get most of these wrong at this together, I think. Okay. Sci-fi stories. Whether it's Tears in Rain, Getting Your Ass to Mars, Finding Out Who's the Daddy, or Stopping Future Crimes, there are some awesome stories in sci-fi. Which of these is the odd one out? I am going to assume I know what the connection is and go with that. I don't want to say what the connection is. Sci-fi, yeah. I might also give it.
Tom says I feel like the odd one out in this round. These are really hard.
Yeah, well, it's trying to decide what you think the theme is because I can come up with probably two or three different themes
That's
for
the
those
thing,
pictures,
yeah.
which in each one gives a different answer potentially. So
Okay, I'm gonna guess. And I'll hit next.
yeah, the theme I went for there was which ones do they travel into space at some point in, or themed around being in space. So
They're all good movies apart from Blade Runner. I know you're all gonna shout at me now. Blade Runner was freaking boring. The old one and the new one.
okay, what's this one? Modern classics. Four creations of genius, but which is the odd one out?
By the way, Interstellar is a
Hello.
shitty ass movie. It started off so good, and then it all
Yeah, I
becomes
did.
time travel and all the rubbish at the end. But it was just so bad.
But yeah, you're right. It was quite good. But then some of the Star Warses haven't been all that
Rogue One
great.
was good. I really enjoyed Rogue One. I thought it was really good. Inception was good. Dark Knight. I can't remember Dark Knight. Is that the one with no, not Vader, the other guy, Bane or whatever his name is?
Yes, yeah, I had Bane and Dark Knight. If I remember right, that's the one where he's down in a pit for like half the film.
Yes. Yeah. They saved a lot of money on special effects on that. It was like a bit like a Mad Max down there, low budget.
My son likes watching shows where they're busy digging pits all the time at the moment. He's on YouTube watching them digging pits and filling them with water. Some kind of, I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh, really?
But yeah, Primitive Tool channel or something, I think it's called. And they're using primitive tools out in, I'm not sure where they are, maybe Thailand even or somewhere, but somewhere hot where it's very dry. They're digging away, digging these massive pits, then fill them with water. But they make proper houses and stuff out of them in the process. It's quite cool. It's like build your own house with a swimming pool, which will be washed away when the next monsoon comes through.
Lee,
Right.
we're not digging you around though. We love it. Andrew, show some love to Lee. Everyone, show some love to Lee in the chat. It's a good
Bane's Dark
round.
Knight's right. Ah, Dark Knight was Joker. Okay.
Well, I haven't played yet. 1 second.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
gonna
which one to do either.
I'm gonna pick the shit movie. There we go.
Okay, War Games. Gosh, it's a long time since I've watched this film. Young hacker shows why you should use a secure password for your military supercomputer. He just wants to play the game though. Which one of these is not given as an option the first time he logs in? Hey? Okay. Which is not given as an option the first time he logs in. A picture of him being sat at a computer, some text saying we shall play a game, or shall we play a game, and then a load of computer screens. Checkers, poker, tic-tac-toe, global thermonuclear war. Oh, okay, so what do you want to do? Oh, yeah, I remember this now. But I can't remember what the words are that are on the screen. But I do remember the scene now when it happens.
I
Yeah, pictures are
don't.
just, yeah, I've just realised that. So the pictures are of the movie. It's the words below, and yeah, there's an option given for what do you want to do. But which one's not given? I'm not. I think it's going to be that one, but I'm not sure.
See, I think I know which one it is, but then I also think I remember seeing the answer and it's a different one. So do I go with what I think it is, or do I go with what I think the answer that I saw when I put it into the system is?
We'll find out soon. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Question 6. I'm guessing I might get it wrong, but the
Okay,
one I've gone for, because I don't think it was something that people talked a lot about generally back in at that time.
that's what I'm
Maybe I'm
thinking as well. But for some reason, I think the answer was something that I thought it wasn't. Okay, I'm gonna go with not what I think it is, but what I think I saw it as. Okay, I want to hit next.
interesting. Okay.
There's no text with this one.
Oh,
Oops.
that's even more interesting. Mine didn't actually update when you click next. Oh, it has now. Okay. Just
Lee,
took a
what was
moment.
the? What do you remember the question? One question. Like the top left, I think is Pet Detective, right? The top right, I don't know. The bottom left was Queen, and the bottom right is I really enjoyed that movie, Jack Reacher, number one. I
Yeah.
think
So
I
you got
lopped
top
off.
right. Yeah.
What's the top right? What's B?
Top right is Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
So you got Pet Detective, Lord of the Rings, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Jack
Did
Reacher.
I input this question badly though?
I don't know quite what this is supposed to say.
Yeah, I think I've ballsed up the question.
Okay, one's the odd one out. Okay, so it is a case of picking one of them, but there's some text missing about what the actual question is.
Which one's the odd one out? I guess is that the question.
Be careful though with B. B is Lord of the Rings, right? I'm
I don't know.
sure that's Lord of the Rings.
But Lee wrote
No.
these. If it says be careful with B, that is not going to be the answer. But why be careful with B?
I'm going to go with that one, and I'll give my I could give my reason out loud. That's why I've chosen it.
Lord of the Rings, the name.
Oh, hang on.
I don't get it.
Uh, Now I'm wondering if there's another connection between the pictures.
And Mike, D is Jack Reacher, number one. Really good movie. You should watch it. Number two is pretty good too.
Which other one's got what other film's got a scene like that? Not The Hobbit. It looks very much from that.
I don't know. I'm looking at the clock as well. We've got three questions to go. It's almost 10. I, I want to pick one. I think it's the wrong one, but I have a feeling it was the answer that I saw. I don't know. Again, should I trust my memory or trust my gut?
Worst color grading. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the worst color grading, definitely.
I see, that's for sure. He's all about having vibrant, bright colors.
Okay. Couple of seconds. I'm going to select my answer and hit next.
No, it's one of the Lord of the Rings. Which one? Return of the King.
Return of Andrew. Did your screen not update? Or are you Googling the question?
I'm just now thinking based on that. Yeah, would that change the answer I gave? Okay, famous weapons, right. Can you recognize these famous sci-fi weapons? Well, I recognize the top right. That was the Wookiee, right?
Don't give the answers.
No way. Okay. Select the 4 corresponding movies for the guns. Fact, did you know that only one of these has been on Earth? Not a real version of one of them.
Andrew's got a couple of those.
It won't let me pick an answer. Why won't it let me pick an answer? Oh, there we go. Okay. Interesting. I had to click off the browser and back on, and it let me click it.
Yeah, Safari's a bit weird.
Yeah, I recognise that from that film. I'm a little stuck on one of them, though.
One of them's
Something
hard.
else.
And with our quiz platform, if you get one wrong, you get them all wrong, right?
Yes. Yeah. There's no getting a point for getting three out of it. You have to have them all correct.
Okay.
It's an exact match. You've either got to have the correct number, so you can't just pick three of them. You have to pick four.
Okay. I won't put my answer just yet. I know which one was on Earth. Shame that that isn't the question. I know that one.
Probably gonna get that wrong because I think I've got one of them wrong. Okay. Maybe what I'll guess. I'm now wanting to change it.
I'm gonna get one wrong for at least.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna play, and then I want to hit next. Everyone, place your bets, place your orders quickly. I want to rapid fire it. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, go on and see how fast you can click your answers. You'll probably miss one.
I'm not sure on one. That's why I'm hesitant.
Okay, so there's one that you did do differently to me, and that was the one I was unsure about. So, okay.
Again, I've guessed. I knew two of them, and the other two, I guessed, and I went against my gut. I tried to remember what I saw in the answers when I put it into the system. But that's really bad because my memory's terrible. So, it probably hasn't worked out very well.
We might do it in the future. That there's question types where you could score a point for each one you get right. But we argued, well, what happens if you do just pick everything? Because should you get a negative score, or should it be a case of you can pick up to four? So you set something that says you can pick up to four, and if you got three out of the four, you get 3 points for those. So it'd be interesting to have a sort of a bit more of a discussion of how could you give part points or multiple points without someone just spamming and clicking everything.
Good try and keep it simple for now, though, as well.
That's why we just went for it has to be an exact match. Okay, famous ships. How about the ships? Can you select the four corresponding names? Oh, yes, okay. I recognise that one.
Recognize two.
Oh. Hmm. I think I only recognise two. I'm sure I've seen them, but I don't know what they were called. That's what makes it difficult. I know two of them. Yeah, you could make it four questions, Mike. So you have each picture and just say, what's this one, what's this one, what's this one?
True. That's true. If you had four questions, that'd make it easier because then you could, you have a lot more questions as well. Because it is time consuming to put questions together, as Lee was telling me. As you found out.
It is. Yeah, we spend probably at least an hour to do one round's worth of questions, sometimes 2 hours, depending on how stupid we select our rounds to be. Because we often go, what round should we do? We'll do a round on this. That'll be easy. And it takes like 2 hours to come up with questions for it.
So if not all of these questions quite have four that aren't related, but if there's probably like 20 questions in this round, which is good. Lee did more work. Thanks, Lee. Okay, everyone ready? I'm gonna do mine and hit next.
The bottom left one I'm 100% sure on. The bottom right one I'm like 80% sure on, and the top two I'm like 20% sure on.
Top left I know, and bottom right I think I know. The other two I'm not sure.
Bottom right, okay.
The Python questions supported ships. I need to have a guess.
Well, I might take that top right one though and use that when we rebuild our little Space Invaders game.
Yeah.
Warp Blast. It's a good picture of a ship there. Maybe that was the answer for that one. It was taken out of Warp Blaster. Oh, okay. You did one differently to me again. Interesting.
Last question, and then we can see the scoreboard.
All-time greats. Okay, so BCD. Okay, so how well do you remember your greatest films? Put the scenes in order. So what order do these scenes occur in through the film? Are they all in the same film? That looks like it's the two different. No, it is okay. It's on the. No, sorry, I thought it was on a hoverboard for a moment in the bottom left. I just.
No, it's all in Back to the Future 1. I should watch all these again this weekend, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So. That one.
I don't know what order it's in.
Ooh.
Oh, I've seen the trick.
Yeah, I think I know what it is because I
Yeah.
think that I know what was last.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you know kind of what's at the beginning or end, then you can kind of figure it out. Okay.
I hope I know which one comes last. I've probably got it wrong
Okay.
now. It's not actually.
Everyone, let's do it. I'm going to click mine, hit end round, and we're going to find out who is the winner. Mike says the order he thought wasn't even an option. Go for E, Mike. Go for E. Let's have a look.
The only way you can do it is the way this is done, where you give them the options.
Look at Lee. You got 10 out of 10. I got 8, but I have an advantage that I did see the answers briefly. So even though
I'm impressed I got 9, considering I didn't know what 2 of them were. I made a general guess around 2 of them.
Mike did pretty well. 5. That's good. Jesus, Andrew, Stephen, unlucky Tom. What was number 2? You beat Dave.
Yeah, I think Dave was someone who seemed to join up to the quiz like 2 hours earlier and then probably disappeared.
I think it was like 5 hours earlier, actually. I didn't cheat. Someone had to put the questions in, but some of them I went with what I thought I saw, and some of them I went with my gut. So, yeah.
Have you got the document with all the answers and explanations in, Eddie? Go on, bring it up.
I can get
Everyone can still see the scores at the moment, so.
I can get it. Let's have a look.
But I'm liking the way the scoreboard works. I think I'm quite happy with that. It's come out well.
Quite biased as well.
I am quite biased.
No, it does look good. Okay, so
Guess what? The numbers are all generated through CSS.
nice. View. Where is it? Zoom. Zoom up. 200. Oh, fit. We do fit. Okay. So number 1. See Jack. Oh, this was the Ben Affleck, George Clooney, Jack Nicholson or Andrew, and I can't remember who the other one was.
Yeah, I didn't think he had played as Batman. I was thinking it was all people who had been in Batman. I didn't realize he'd played Batman. Which film was he did play Batman? It must have just been one of.
When you say who played Batman, which one?
Bottom right.
Who was that? Oh wait, I can bring it up. I can bring that up as well. One sec. Let me bring that up. So if I move this to the right hand side. Oh, I have to make it not full screen.
George Clooney, that's it.
George Clooney was top right, I thought.
George Clooney was bottom right.
Okay, let's bring this over.
Yeah, he's in a really awful one, which is probably why I blocked it from my memory of him being Batman ever.
Oh, it was what's his name? Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Okay.
Yes. Christian Bale was in Batman loads. Ben Affleck was in Batman recently and is in the Justice League as well, wasn't he? Although I think he's been dropped for the next Batman. And yeah, Jack, he was the Joker. So I just thought, oh well, 3 of them have been in Batman, and I don't remember George Clooney being in Batman. But yeah, now that you say it, mate, yeah, I just blocked that film completely from memory. Next one. Oh yes, okay.
Is that Sigourney Weaver with a wig?
Which was the one that doesn't give the reason on it. So the reason I went for the bottom or the top right was it was a modern film. The other ones were all like in the 80s.
Yeah, I went for top right because of that reason as well. The other 3 films all contain movie stealing performances by Alec Rickman. He appeared in all. Oh yeah, he was in the Harry Potters, but not in the spin-off. Oh yeah, he's there. I can recognize him now with the hairdo. Oh, lack of.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he was the bad guy in Robin Hood. He was the Sheriff of Nottingham, and in Die Hard, he was um,
Not the reason I
Hans
went for it at all.
Gruber in Die Hard 1. Sorry, Andrew?
Not the reason I went for at all then about Alan Rickman being in them.
No, me neither. Yeah, this one I did cheat, Mike.
VAR is not a basic. Yeah, the only reason I picked VAR was because it's in JavaScript, and I just couldn't think of where you assign a variable like that and what else VAR could mean in BASIC. That was the only reason I picked it. But I could have easily gone for like sin or something. But again, they were looked a bit too. They were looked too made up to not be correct, real. So
I remembered it was VAR from the answers, so that one I did cheat. Well, I didn't cheat, but I remembered. 4. C. Well, the movies are based on the stories by. Okay, I picked C, but just not for that reason.
I picked D. The others, I just figured they all
Older.
featured being in space at some point.
That's true. 5. I can't see the chat, by the way. I hope you're keeping an eye on the chat. No one writing in the chat? No. Oh, yes, the chat has scrolled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Odd one out. What was the reason?
5C. Rogue One.
Oh, geez, it is Christopher Nolan. Oh, okay.
B.
Yeah. Does it say it on all the front screens there? Could we have read the pictures? They're probably not quite big enough.
And you resized them even smaller as well.
I did make them a little bit smaller.
War games. Offered to play chess, not checkers. See, I thought it was going to actually be D, but
I thought it was poker. No, I knew the globe. That one I definitely remember. That was what made me think, oh, okay, I remember this scene now.
okay. I'm
Seeing
poker, I
that.
suppose, yeah.
Poker, because I was thinking, is that the sort of thing that would have been offered or something on there? I could have thought the other ones might be. Okay.
Name the odd movie out. Oh, I did miss out the writing to go with this one. And it was lucky number C.
Other films. Yeah, see, that's what I chose, but probably not for this reason.
Yeah. Ace Ventura, Return of the Kling,
Okay, I see.
and Jack Reacher.
Ace. So you had Ace for Ace Ventura, King
Oh,
for,
I see it. See.
and yeah,
That's clever. That is clever. Okay, number 8.
which one did I get wrong?
A is Sonic Gun from District 9. Oh, yes.
It was
Crossbow,
District 9. Yeah, it was
Star
I
Wars.
was trying to figure out. I think I actually did pick District 9, and then I changed it to. I can't remember which one I changed it to. Battlestar Galactica, probably.
And then Ripley's Rifle. And what was D?
That was from
Really?
They-
I
they
don't
use-
remember that.
spaceship and stuff. Yeah. That's right. He sells it. Yeah.
Number 9.
Yeah, the
Battlestar
Gunstar. I knew
Galactica, yes.
was Gunstar. I knew bottom left, and bottom right was Viper, right?
No, top left was Viper. That was from Battlestar Galactica. I knew that one. B.
And the bottom left was
Buck
Gunstar.
Rogers.
Where's losing him? Buck Rogers, the Thunder Fighter.
Gunstar
I only
is
chose-
C, okay.
I'm sure I had heard of the name Thunder Fighter from a film somewhere. I just couldn't remember which one. Very good.
Number
That
10.
was-
The answer was...
I was convinced D came towards the end, but must have been A. It was C at the end. Okay.
Yes, so the way I figured it out was I knew it was B and then D, and it was the only one that had B, D at the beginning. So then I was like,
Right.
okay, it must be A then C, but I actually thought it was C then A, but because that wasn't an option, because I had B, I was pretty sure about B and D being first. That's why it made it easier for me. So
So
we should have probably had 8 options for that one. That would have been a bit harder, mixed it up. I think I would have struggled.
I thought he was his mum after he had gone back and he had woken up, because A was when he woke up and was like, "Oh shit, I'm on
No,
like."
A's not him waking up. A's his dad, and he's put headphones on, and he's standing in like the spacesuit on the bed, and
Right. Okay.
he
This
says
film
like,
watched Back to the Future for a long time.
and because he's got this magazine here at the right about Martians, and he's like, I'm a Martian or whatever, I'm an alien or Martian, and he's got like the Discman, not Discman, Walkman, the cassette tape, and he plays it, and he's got headphones on. He doesn't realize.
Okay.
I watched it a
Got
lot.
that totally.
Nice.
He hasn't been on Earth. Okay.
He's Darth Vader. Yeah, Mike's right. That's what it was. Oh my god, I need to watch those movies again tonight, this weekend. Let's do all 3 again. Planet Vulcan. Yeah. Oh my word. Nice.
I have to watch Back to the Future. I think the last time I watched Back to the Future, was probably before I went to university. A long time ago. I think the
Oh,
kids
I
have watched it. Watch it with them because I was doing something else. I don't know what. Put it on for them and told them, "This is a classic. Watch this," and then I walked off.
I watched it at uni, and I watched it since uni as well. I'll watch it again, I'm sure. Nice. Cool. Well, it's 10:15. I think it's time for my bedtime. I need my beauty
Did you
sleep.
want to know the answers or not? Because I know we've done the answers for the last
Oh
round.
yes.
Does anyone want us to go through the answers for the other rounds or not?
Well, the stats on YouTube have just halved, but we can still go through them if people want them.
I'm guessing a few people may have signed off.
I'll make it easier next time. No
The
worries,
good
Lee.
side
That's awesome.
questions were you know which ones you got right or wrong. Okay, Lee would like the answer. Should we quickly run through it all then?
Go on, let's do it.
Wait,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
let me open up the database.
Okay, so everyone who's watching, while Andrew's resetting the database, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything, and it supports the channel.
What was the title for this game?
And if you've given it a thumbs down, tap it twice, so you use twice the thumbs down.
12th of June. Okay. You. Okay. Okay. I hope you remember all your answers.
I don't. I actually
I'll
don't.
do the answers for your first round, and you do the answers for your second round.
Oh, yeah,
Seeing as I read them.
I don't know what they are.
Plus, I remember I got 10 out of 10.
Oh, yes, so Andy knows the answers. We'll figure it out together. This one's
First one,
Snapchat.
yeah. Then it was radiation,
Yeah.
like counter. Then it was Harvard. I was slightly between Harvard and MIT, but I went Harvard.
Yeah.
Unit of length, light year. It's pretty obvious, right? This one, I chose public and private, but only because of the word hybrid. And I was thinking cloud and bare metal, but I was thinking that doesn't make sense because it's got cloud in the top. So I went public and private just because of the word hybrid. But
Oh, okay,
this,
nice.
I didn't really have any idea. So it was purely deducing what it sounded like based on the word hybrid being there. So yeah, public and private apparently. Not open source, Microsoft SQL and Oracle. However, I'm sure, certainly Microsoft SQL, I thought large parts of it are now open source. And Oracle, I'm sure there's elements of, but I guess it's one of those, let's say 80% or more was open source, was perhaps what I assumed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Microsoft SQL and Oracle. Next one, so there's a lock on the door, but the person looks like they're sliding it. So the lock's pointless, but because it's a sliding lock, right? So it's just going to slide straight out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's designed for a different type of door.
Slide open was what I went with. And that was right. Next one, this was a 50-50. to a degree, I thought that doesn't quite sound right based on
It,
the way it's written. So it edged me towards false, but I didn't. I wasn't sure I was going to get that right.
it
But
is a
yeah,
correct
false.
number. On Python 2, this is the max value for an integer. But in Python
Oh, really?
3, they removed it and you can use as much as the computer allows or whatever,
Fair enough.
which I think is probably dangerous. But
Uh, which of the following is not a built-in function?
you
Again,
got 10 out of 10 for this, didn't you, Andrew?
completely random guess here, and I somehow got it. I went diff just because in most places you've got to write your own diffing method, like compare to or something. They might support looking for one, but you have to write it yourself. They're not built in. But yeah, I didn't know.
Good
I
call.
actually,
Good call.
I was going to go map for a while. So yeah, I got lucky on that one. That was the second one I made a pure guess on, and this one I think I made a pure guess on as well. Partly because I said, "Does the X matter?" I had no idea if it did or not. I just went sod it undefined. I don't know. So fine was the answer.
Good call.
But if you can give us the reason why it's undefined, because I have no idea.
Because it's case sensitive, so they've defined capital
Okay,
X, and this was lowercase.
assumed that was a mistake on your side, not on purpose.
No,
Okay.
it was a trick. The question it was a trick. So
Cool.
okay, let's see if I get 10 out of 10 on this round. I hope so.
Lowercase x, what would it have done?
If what? Sorry.
If it had been a lowercase x, or the case was correct, what would it do?
I think
You know,
I
if
don't
you
know.
don't know,
Actually, I can't remember. This was a community given question from Mikey, so
Okay.
he
I'm
made a
guessing it
typo, and I said that's fine, leave it, because I actually wanted the typo.
Yeah, because I was thinking it reverses it to start with, just because of the minus and stuff. I thought, well, if it does something, it might reverse it. But
This
then I
is
saw the
some
x's were different. I joked about it being a typo and went, sorry, I'm going to go with that.
this is some voodoo shit. This is,
Kind of,
but Python is very voodoo-y.
yeah, it's a very mean thing of Eddie to do, but knowing what Eddie's like sometimes, that's,
Well, it's question 10 out of that round. I need to make it a bit harder.
yeah, that was
You all
harsh.
did really well in this round, if I remember correctly, right? Let's have a look. Let me end it.
Okay.
I got 10
Well,
out of
Eddie's
10. See, everyone did
a few
really
people.
quite well. I mean, yeah.
It wasn't bad, really. I mean, yeah, okay. Lee, you did well in the next round, right, Lee? So,
This one was a
I
string.
can't remember which one I got wrong here. Okay, yeah, so I said string. And that was, again, me blurting things out that I need to be quiet about.
Even if you're off by a mile, that made me laugh so much. Bit.
I went bit. Good. I'll tell you what I did, just so people can laugh. I went abstracted, but it has to be unusable. Oh, usable. Unusable. That's something wrong in my head.
Has
Okay,
to be
I went
usable.
to abstract it out, but okay,
0, it's a hardware problem. You're right.
no problem. Yeah.
I
Prototyping.
gave the answer for this as well by mistake when I was talking. I tried to like brush over it really quick.
Translate false, but for some reason what did I say? I thought I changed that to false. It didn't pick up on it. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, it's the database's problem. It's it doesn't do X. Sorry, it doesn't do Z. This one,
Blue.
I think it's blue, right? Because it's
Blue, but it
UL
was
and then
red.
must buy blue.
But yeah.
Steven says, "What's the Z-axis?" So you can when you put layers on top of each other.
Depth.
Depth, yeah. What will happen to the position of this? Items will move up.
Yeah.
This one stops older browsers from passing the remainder of the select, I think.
It should have been false, I think, Stephen, is because CSS doesn't control 3D stuff as far as I'm aware. The only way of doing anything with Z is the Z index, so you can put things in front or behind. I don't believe there's any way of translating and making things look. You can make them look 3D by like shrinking them and stuff. That's how people do that kind of rotating cards. They kind of shrink it and make it look like it's rotated, and they might add a few shadows or something. But Yeah, I don't think there's any 3D, so that's why it should have been false. I don't know why I had true still selected, but anyway, maybe it was just my brain. I went, yes, stops older browsers was the only thing I could think of out of those. Never actually used the only thing, so I didn't know. Everything becomes a string because it starts with a string. The moment you hit a string value, it converts it to a string. But if you haven't yet hit a string value, as the next one would be.
So it's that one then, is it? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, so because you've got a string, you start. If two had been a string, so if it had been one and then two was a string, it would also be 1, 2, 3, 4. But if one and two hadn't been, then that goes to your next question, really.
Yeah, okay.
Because it along the whole thing. So it runs through. So the first one here would be 4 plus 3. It's still numbers. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. And then it goes, 9 plus the string of 1. So it'd be 91 because it's then appending a string rather than a number to it. It's the weirdness of JavaScript, that one.
And you can see the .NET people going, "Oh my god, how is this language done so well?"
I know.
And the Java in me is thinking the same thing.
That's why you have transpilers and all the rest of it now, I guess, for JavaScript to try and help with the whole typing problem of JavaScript.
It's why I avoided JavaScript for like 10 years, but then like 6 years ago, I had no choice. You have to. It's just everywhere now in web. Look at people's rounds. I got 11 out of 10. No, 11 out of 11. There were 11 questions in that round. Mike did really well as well. Everyone did really well.
Pretty well, 8 and 9.
When can we start playing money on this? Where's the PR? This question's good. 30 plus 2 plus 0, 0. That's true. We'll wait for that PR. Andrew's going to bankroll this, don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But for the moment, it's just a fun project. But we have thought that if it does start to get interesting, I know there are a few people that have said once it can do a bit more, they run like charity quizzes and stuff. They'd like to be able to collect some money and have a way of doing things like that online. So we'll see. I know there are other options out there, but most people don't seem happy with them. We'll see. Who knows if there'll ever be a money option. But I think the arcade side would be quite fun to be able to give people the chance of throwing in effectively like a 5p game kind of thing. Play a game, and if you happen to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the month, you get some credits back or something. I don't know. We'll see. Long term
idea. Arcade style is quite a good idea, right? You pay to play, but then you can kind of.
Yeah, it's just a nominal amount, but it helps us fun running it because at the moment the running costs are quite low. But obviously, if we do start having more people use it, we could do with making something. Well, did you know that Andrew's mic takes a second to fade back in after Eddie speaks? Oh, does it? I don't know whether that's because partly my mic's a mile away from me at the moment. I don't know why I've had it so far away all the way through.
Andrew doesn't kiss his mic, that's why.
Yeah, if I bring my mic right in, I can bring it in.
Oh, wow, it sounds so much better, Andrew.
It sounds much better, but then you get the mic right in my head.
It doesn't have to be so close, I suppose. You could move it off to the side slightly.
There you go. You want the mic on the screen, do you?
Andrew's mic is mine's is a condenser mic, and mine's the dynamic mic. So I need to speak into it, whereas Andrew doesn't quite have to speak into it. Obviously, the closer he is, the better.
It picks me up and picks all the kids up in the background and everything else.
Because if I move mine over, I bash my screen. If I move mine over out of the way, you probably can't hear me as well. And if I bring it closer, you can hear me a lot better. Yeah.
That's that one. Yeah. With the old boom arm and all the rest of it on there.
If anyone wants to do any live streaming, they can have my old blue Yeti. I don't use it anymore.
I don't know. It's good because it doesn't pick up the background noise like the new mic, but
yeah,
I do still think it's a lot of depth of your voice.
You do, yeah, right. Condenser mics are you got a lot more dynamic range with the audio. So whose is better, everyone? Let's sing some songs and you can see who's better. Andrew, you go first.
I need to adjust it way up front, up here. Turn that down a bit.
So whose mic's better? This is the last question of the night, and then I'm going to go to bed because it's 10:30, past my bedtime. Mic color blue. This is the Michael Jackson mic. This is like famous. So whose audio is better? It's not what?
It sounds better when it's closer. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know whether I need to. I haven't really fiddled around with the mic anywhere near enough because, unlike Eddie, I just wanted a mic that wasn't the computer's mic, that was a semi-reasonable price. And plus, I like being able to just move it around a bit, which was quite handy when I'm in a different part of the room, perhaps. But yeah, there are so many modes on this thing. I know Eddie's probably got a million more, but
Actually,
I can change to this.
mine has less modes.
Oh, really? So
Costs like 5 times as much and has half as much modes.
So I never know, did it actually make any difference at all when I change it between these? I think it only makes a difference if there was someone else I was talking with, probably. The
Heart-shaped is the one you need, yeah.
I use the heart-shaped one. I stopped using that now. I now go with... Oops, I just pulled the whole thing apart.
It's broken.
No, it is the heart-shaped one. I was actually on the heart-shaped one, so yeah.
Yeah, the heart-shaped one is the one you use, I think. It's got 3 mics in there, so yeah, it uses the one at the front and rejects the ones coming from the other 2 mics, the mics in there. So no one's talking about my mic. This is like the Thriller Michael Jackson mic. Cost me a shitload of money. You're all fired. I want to go to the database and put you all at 0.
It's what you get for buying replicas.
This was made. It's not actually his physical mic, but it's the model that he used. It's so good. It was made in 2001, and they haven't changed the design since. Michael Jackson sang with this, and he sings pretty good.
Go on then, sing us a song. I like the way you're thinking about it.
I'm trying to think of a Michael Jackson song, and I can't think of any all of a sudden. Right, on that note, let's call it a day. Obviously, your mic sounds very natural, Eddie. Thank you, Lee. I know you're just saying that to make me happy. I know you don't want me to go cry myself to sleep.
I still think it picks up too much of your mouth as such. The mouth, there's like a sort of a...
It's because I'm kissing the mic. Let me have a drink. I'll be good afterwards.
Yeah, it might be if your mouth's dry or something. Right?
Ouch. Right.
But you've got the benefit that to make your mic work, you just have to reboot the Windows PC how many times?
Oh, God. Freaking Windows PC. The mic's fine. It goes into the mixer interface, no problem, and sounds okay. For some reason, Winblows makes my voice like in slow-mo, like 50%. So it's like, I have to reboot the computer. I don't know.
RTX voice, if you have an NVIDIA card, which you do.
Apparently, I do have the NVIDIA card. Okay, what's RTX voice? Oh, AI noise cancelling. Oh, I saw that. I heard about that. That's really good.
Noise cancelling AI. It does look quite good.
Yeah. I miss just having a very simple pink 3.5 connector. It's so true. I have like XLR cable coming out, and then it goes into a cloud lifter, which amplifies it because this has really low output. And then from the cloud lifter, it goes into my Zoom H6, which then amplifies it some more and allows me to do some noise gates and everything else. And then it goes into the PC. I was looking at the Go XLR, because then I don't need the cloud lifter because it's got some amazing powerful amps in there. It's quite expensive, but it's out of stock and you can't get anything for like months. So I gave up. I'm wondering, is there a way to get Andrew's mic to feed into your desk in any way? It doesn't cut out. I get a really long cable.
Wi-Fi? Cable. It takes me about half an hour to get to your house by car. So you must be, 15? Because it's some funny slow roads, that's the problem. It's about 15 miles worth of cable.
Let me see if I can adjust Andrew's audio, because maybe Andrew's got a noise gate or something. That's why it takes time to kick in. Let me see. I don't think you do have... I don't think I've turned anything on for you. I think it's all default. Got no EQ, no compressor, no noise gate. I've got a noise gate, but you don't have one. So I don't think it's me. It's odd.
It's possibly just something vMix is doing for picking up the data and deciding whether or not to send it through. Don't know. True.
It should be mixing us both, but you just don't know behind the scenes. I think it's written in .NET because it runs on Windows, so maybe it can't like multi-thread. It's like either this audio or that audio. I'm not attacking anyone. We're all friends here.
Of course.
Just can't handle 2 microphones. And that's Mike calling, going, "You're in trouble." All right, we should call it a night. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And Lee, thank you so much again for the quiz, for the picture round. We look forward to having some more guest rounds for next week. Let us know if anyone wants to do one. Hey Zeus, you should do one. Mike's done one already. Tom hasn't done one yet. So and nor has Steven. So we got a few suggestions. Let us know. Mike on line one. Yeah, the bat phone. Reboot it.
Quick, cut him off.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we will chat to you all soon. You have a think, Tom. Let us know.
Back in the days of, let's say, basic ADSL or dial-up, if someone called you, that would have cut you off. So
We have a call waiting, right? And you get the kind of the beeping sound through.
okay. Anyway, yes. Good night. Thank you. Tell your friends. We'll try and start advertising a little bit more as well. We don't really push this that much. We should push it a little bit more.
Get off the internet to use the phone. Yeah. Yeah, we'll push it a bit more, and yeah, the leaderboard will be bigger. Double figures next week.
Double figures, yeah. We'll try and fix it on mobile a bit better and all the rest. Now that the tests are working, hopefully, I won't spend 5 days fiddling around with tests.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Oh, sorry, Andrew, you were saying I'm going to do some work.
Eddie's going to do some coding too, so get on his back for code.
It's true. We'll do some live streaming on that.
Fine, hands are off. I'm going to stop talking.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.